The night shift at Earth's Deep Space Monitoring Station was usually quiet. Most operators spent their time watching endless streams of data scroll across their screens, searching for any unusual patterns in the cosmic noise. But tonight was different. Tom Baker sat up straight in his chair, his coffee forgotten as he stared at his screen. The pattern he was seeing didn't make sense. Radio waves don't naturally form perfect squares. He checked his equipment 3 times before calling his supervisor. "Sir, I think you need to see this," Tom said, his voice steady despite his racing heart. "I'm picking up a signal from the Kuiper Belt. It's structured." Within an hour, the quiet monitoring station transformed into a hub of activity. Dr. James Miller, the lead scientist of the Global Defense Initiative, arrived with his team. His gray hair was messy, and his glasses sat crooked on his nose, clear signs he'd rushed here as soon as he got the call. "Show me everything," he ordered, pulling up a chair next to Tom. The data painted an alarming picture. Hidden in what everyone had assumed was normal space noise were encrypted messages. Lots of them. The aliens weren't trying to talk to Earth. They were talking about Earth. Dr. Miller's team worked nonstop for 3 days, using quantum computers to break the encryption. When they finally succeeded, the truth hit them like a punch to the gut. "They're calling us a harvest world," Dr. Miller explained to the emergency meeting of the World Security Council. The room was filled with representatives from every major nation, all looking equally concerned. "These signals are communications between multiple alien species, discussing Earth like farmers discuss when to harvest their crops." He pulled up a holographic display showing the solar system. Red dots appeared throughout the Kuiper Belt, marking positions of hidden observation posts. "They've been watching us. For centuries, probably. These stations are incredibly well hidden. We only found them because we caught them talking to each other." One of the council members raised his hand. "How did we even detect these signals? Surely their technology must be far beyond ours." Dr. Miller allowed himself a small smile. "That's the interesting part. They think they're being careful, using what they consider to be primitive encryption methods because they assume we can't even detect their communications. They're not wrong. 10 years ago, we couldn't have. But they didn't account for how quickly we advance." The council chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. Humanity had caught their observers by surprise. "There's more," Dr. Miller continued. "Based on the messages we've decoded, they have a standard procedure for harvest worlds. They watch until the civilization reaches a certain technological threshold. Then they step in before the planet's inhabitants can become a threat." "And where are we on their scale?" another council member asked. "According to their latest reports, they think we're about 50 years away from being a concern." Dr. Miller's smile grew wider. "They're wrong about that too. We're way past the point they consider dangerous. They just don't know it because we've been careful about what we show to the sky." The council erupted in discussion. Some wanted to confront the aliens immediately. Others suggested continuing to play dumb. The debate raged for hours until the council president raised his hand for silence. "Dr. Miller, what do you recommend?" "We keep watching them watch us," he replied without hesitation. "We've broken their codes, but they don't know that. Every message they send tells us more about them. Their technologies, their weaknesses, their fears. Right now, our greatest advantage is that they think they're the only ones doing the observing." The president nodded slowly. "How long can we maintain this advantage?" "As long as we need to. They're not looking for signs of us detecting them because they don't think we can. It's like thinking ants can't see humans watching their anthill. And when they finally realize their mistake." Dr. Miller's expression turned serious. "By then, we'll be ready. They think they're studying their next harvest. Instead, they're teaching us exactly how to stop them. Every day they wait is another day we get stronger." The council voted unanimously to maintain secrecy. As Dr. Miller left the chamber, he looked up at the night sky. Somewhere up there, alien observers were writing reports about Earth's primitive civilization, blissfully unaware that their subjects had turned the tables. The hunters had no idea they were being hunted. 3 months after the discovery of the alien observation posts, the world had changed. Not on the surface. People still went to work, children still played in parks, and life seemed normal. But deep beneath the ground, inside mountains, and in hidden facilities across the globe, humanity was moving with urgent purpose. Admiral Thomas Walker stood in the control room of Earth's newest command center, carved into the heart of the Rocky Mountains. Massive screens covered the walls, showing real-time data from every corner of the solar system. He watched as another group of construction ships headed toward Mars, their movement hidden from alien observers by advanced stealth technology. Status report, he called out to the room. Project Phoenix is at 85% completion, reported his second-in-command, Colonel Lisa Reed. The Mars base will be fully operational within 2 weeks. Europa facility is already running at full capacity. Walker nodded, his weathered face showing satisfaction. The aliens would never expect humans to have bases on Mars and Europa. They were too busy watching Earth's surface, counting satellites, and measuring radio signals. Sir, Colonel Reed continued, the President is ready for your briefing about the Roswell tech. The Admiral took a deep breath. After 70 years, the world would finally learn the truth about Roswell. Not about a crash. That was just a cover story. The truth was far more interesting. In the global briefing room, leaders from every nation waited. Some attended in person, others through secure holograms. Walker stepped up to the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, he began, what I'm about to tell you has been kept secret by 12 nations since 1947. The Roswell incident wasn't a crash, it was a gift. Murmurs filled the room as Walker continued. A dying alien, a rebel from one of the harvester species, chose Earth as his final act of rebellion. He gave us technology, warnings, and most importantly, time to prepare. The main screen behind him lit up with images of revolutionary technology. Everything from our quantum computers to our stealth systems started here. We rebuilt it piece by piece, reverse-engineered every component, and kept it all hidden. We made sure our visible technology progressed at a natural pace while developing our real capabilities in secret. He pressed a button, and a hologram of the solar system appeared. Hundreds of small dots lit up, marking hidden human facilities and ships. We have more ships than every major nation has admitted to, more bases than show up on any official record, and weapons that even our alien observers haven't imagined. The room was silent now, everyone staring at the true extent of humanity's preparation. The alien at Roswell warned us they would come, Walker continued. He told us they see developing worlds as crops to be harvested. But he also told us their weakness, their absolute confidence that younger species can't surprise them. Colonel Reed stepped forward with a small device. This, Walker said, holding it up, is their latest report about Earth. Thanks to Dr. Miller's team, we can read everything they send. They think we're decades away from basic interplanetary travel. Meanwhile, we have fusion-powered ships that can reach Pluto in a week. One of the world leaders raised his hand. Why reveal all this now? Because it's time for the next phase, Walker answered. Until now, only a few thousand people knew the full truth. But we need everyone working together for what comes next. The aliens will send a scout ship soon. They always do before a harvest. When they come, we need to be ready. He brought up another image, showing Earth's hidden defensive grid. We've spent 70 years building this shield around our planet. Weapons platforms disguised as debris, sensor arrays hidden in what they think are just communications satellites. We're not helpless primitives waiting to be harvested. We're a trap waiting to be sprung. The briefing continued for hours as Walker revealed more of humanity's secret preparations. When it was over, the world leaders left with a new understanding. Earth wasn't just preparing for defense. It was preparing to show the galaxy that humans were not prey. In orbit, disguised among what the aliens thought was space junk, Earth's first line of defense waited silently. The hunters would come soon, not knowing they were heading straight into humanity's carefully laid trap. The alien scout ship appeared exactly where Earth's defense planners predicted it would, just beyond Neptune's orbit. It thought it was invisible, protected by advanced cloaking technology. It didn't know that humans had been tracking it since it entered the solar system. Captain Robert Stone stood on the bridge of the EDS Vigilant, Earth's most advanced stealth vessel. His ship was part of the trap, hiding in the shadow of a small asteroid. 5 other ships waited nearby, all invisible to the alien vessel's sensors. "Target is moving exactly as predicted," reported his tactical officer, Jack Wilson. "They're following the same scouting pattern we found in their encrypted files." Stone allowed himself a small smile. Time to show them their first surprise. All ships, execute Plan Alpha. The trap was elegant in its simplicity. As the alien ship passed between 2 seemingly harmless pieces of space debris, a quantum field activated. Their engines suddenly died, leaving them floating helplessly in space. "Direct hit," Wilson announced. "Their power system is completely disabled, just like the simulation showed. No damage to their life support." Stone nodded. This was the tricky part. They needed to send a message, but not reveal too much of their true capabilities. "Move in. Let's say hello." The EDS Vigilant decloaked right in front of the alien ship. Stone imagined their surprise at seeing a human vessel this far out in the solar system. 5 more Earth ships appeared, surrounding the disabled scout. "Open a channel," Stone ordered. "All frequencies, using their own communication protocols." The alien crew appeared on the main screen. They looked almost like tall, thin humans, except for their gray skin and large eyes. Their surprise was clear. They hadn't expected to find advanced human ships here. They definitely hadn't expected to be disabled so easily. "This is Captain Robert Stone of the Earth Defense Ship Vigilant," Stone announced calmly. "Your vessel has entered restricted space. Prepare to be boarded." The aliens responded in their language, but thanks to decades of studying their communications, Earth's computers translated instantly. "Impossible. You can't. This level of technology." "Actually, we can," Stone replied. "And we've been able to for quite some time. Boarding team, move in." The boarding operation was quick and professional. Lieutenant Mark Davis led his team across in spacesuits that looked deceptively simple but contained technology far beyond what the aliens thought humans possessed. They secured the ship in less than 10 minutes. "Captain," Davis reported over the comm, "you're going to want to see what we found in their database." Hours later, Admiral Walker and the World Security Council reviewed the data. The scout ship had carried detailed plans for the coming harvest. The aliens had planned to attack Earth within 5 years. They thought they had plenty of time, Walker explained to the Council. According to their data, they believed we were still struggling with basic spaceflight. Instead, we just captured one of their ships without firing a shot. "What message does this send them?" asked one of the Council members. "The perfect one," Walker replied. "We showed them just enough to make them nervous, but not enough to reveal our full capabilities. They know we can detect their cloaked ships and disable their technology, but they don't know how." He brought up a display showing the signal they'd prepared. Written in the aliens' own language, it was brief but clear. "We see you." "Send it," ordered the Council President. The message went out on all frequencies, bypassing the aliens' normal communication channels. Every observation post in the Kuiper Belt would receive it. Every harvester ship watching Earth would see it. Back on the Vigilant, Captain Stone watched the alien crew in their temporary holding cells. They kept staring at the human guards with a mixture of fear and disbelief. "They still don't understand," he said to Lieutenant Davis. "They think this was our best trick, our biggest surprise." Davis nodded. "Should we tell them about the antimatter fleet?" "No need," Stone replied with a smile. "They'll find out soon enough. Right now, let them worry about what else we might be hiding. Let them wonder how many of their secrets we've discovered while they thought they were safely watching us." The alien scout ship was towed to Mars, to a base that officially didn't exist. As they traveled, Stone thought about how the galaxy was about to change. The harvesters had just learned that their prey had teeth, and they hadn't seen anything yet. The Alien Coalition's emergency meeting was anything but peaceful. 7 different species gathered through holographic projections, all talking at once about the human problem. They didn't know that Dr. Anna Peters was listening to every word. She sat in her lab deep beneath the Australian outback, monitoring the aliens' FTL communication network that they thought was unbreakable. Her team had cracked it months ago. They're panicking, she told Admiral Walker through a secure channel. The gray ones want to attack immediately. The tall blue aliens are suggesting they run more surveillance. The others are somewhere in between. Walker's hologram nodded. And the red crystal beings? They're the most worried, Anna replied. They keep saying, the humans know too much. They're right about that, at least. On her main screen, the alien debate continued. None of them could understand how their scout ship had been so easily captured. More importantly, they couldn't figure out how humans had learned to use their technology so quickly. Time to show them another card from our hand, Walker said. Start powering up the quantum defense grid. Anna smiled as she entered the commands. Across Earth's hemisphere, thousands of hidden satellites activated. They had been disguised as space junk, weather satellites, and communication relays. Now they revealed their true purpose. The quantum grid hummed to life, creating an invisible shield around Earth that could stop any known weapon. The aliens' sensors would detect it, but they wouldn't be able to understand how humans had built something so advanced. In their emergency meeting, the aliens noticed immediately. What is that energy reading? Impossible. Their technology was primitive just years ago. How did we miss this? Could they have had help? Anna listened to their panic with satisfaction. Sir, they're scanning the grid with everything they've got. Should we let them see what else we have? Walker thought for a moment. Show them the ships, just the first wave. Deep in the asteroid belt, 50 antimatter-powered warships dropped their cloaking fields. Each one was more advanced than anything the aliens thought humans could build. Their sensors would show weapons that shouldn't exist, shields that shouldn't be possible, and engines that defied their understanding of physics. The Alien Coalition's meeting erupted into chaos. These cannot be human ships. All harvest operations must be suspended. We need to reassess everything we know about Earth. Anna switched her view to Luna Base, humanity's secret headquarters on the dark side of the moon. The massive facility had remained hidden from alien observation for decades. Now its hangars were opening, revealing hundreds more ships ready to launch. Dr. Peters called out one of her team members. We're detecting increased activity at their observation posts. They're trying to send in more spy drones. Let them, she replied. Activate the tracking network. Let's show them we can see everything they do. Across the solar system, hidden human sensors powered up. On Anna's main display, red dots appeared showing every alien drone, ship, and surveillance device. There were hundreds of them, and now they knew that humans could track them all. In their meeting, the alien leaders fell silent as they realized the implications. The humans weren't just advancing. They had been secretly watching their watchers. Admiral, Anna reported, they're starting to understand. The red crystal beings are suggesting they open diplomatic channels. Walker's hologram smiled. Perfect. Just as planned. How long until the rest agree? At this rate, hours at most. They're terrified of what else we might be hiding. The Admiral nodded. Keep monitoring. Let me know if they even think about trying something aggressive. After the Admiral's hologram faded, Anna walked to her office window. Through the thick glass, she could see the vast underground chamber where thousands of scientists and engineers worked on more projects the aliens couldn't imagine. On her desk, a small screen showed the Alien Coalition still arguing. They were debating whether to treat humans as equals or potential enemies. What they didn't realize was that humanity had already made that choice for them. The game had changed. The hunters had become the hunted, and they were only beginning to understand how badly they had underestimated their prey. In orbit, Earth's quantum defense grid continued its silent watch, ready to protect humanity from whatever the aliens might try next. The message was clear. Humanity wasn't just ready for them. It had been ready for years. Commander Mary Wilson walked through the halls of the New Geneva Space Center, her steps echoing on the polished floor. In less than an hour, she would meet the alien diplomatic team. Both sides knew this wasn't really about peace. It was about power. "Status report," she said to her earpiece as she walked. "6 alien ships have entered Earth orbit," reported Control. "All weapons powered down as requested. Our quantum grid has them locked if they try anything funny." Mary smiled. The aliens didn't know that even getting to Earth had been a test. Their ships had followed exactly the path humans had prepared, passing through hidden scanning gates that checked for any secret weapons or devices. The meeting room was massive, with a ceiling that opened to show the sky. Earth had chosen this location carefully. From here, the alien delegates could see both the planet's beauty and its strength. Defense satellites glinted in the sunlight, and patrol ships moved in precise formations. The alien ships landed right on schedule. 7 different species walked out, each trying to look confident but failing to hide their nervousness. Mary studied them all. The tall blue ones, the crystal beings, the gray hunters, and others. Each had once thought of Earth as prey. "Welcome to Earth," Mary said as they entered. "I'm Commander Wilson, Earth's diplomatic chief." The lead alien, the blue-skinned giant, stepped forward. "I am First Speaker Tull. We come seeking understanding." Mary gestured to the seats around the large table. As everyone sat down, holographic displays activated, showing the solar system and all known alien positions. The delegates shifted uncomfortably, seeing just how much humans had mapped of their operations. "Let's be direct," Mary said. "You came here thinking you could trick us. Pretend to make peace while gathering more intelligence. We know this because we intercepted your planning session." The aliens looked shocked. The crystal being sparkled nervously. "Impossible," one gray alien said. "Our communications are secure." Mary touched a control, and their own voices filled the room. Their secret meeting from just days ago, planning this very encounter. "Nothing you have is secure from us," she said calmly. "We've been listening, watching, and preparing for longer than you can imagine." She brought up new holographic images: Earth's defense grid, the Mars bases, the Europa facilities. But she also showed something else. Construction yards building ships larger than anything the aliens had seen before. "These are our exploration vessels," Mary explained. "Ready to launch and capable of reaching any system in your coalition. We're not just defending Earth. We're preparing to join the galaxy, on our terms." First Speaker Tull leaned forward. How did humans advance so quickly?" "We didn't," Mary replied with a slight smile. "We advanced at exactly the pace we chose. Every satellite you saw, every primitive rocket launch you monitored, all were part of the show. The real work happened where you couldn't see." She stood and walked to the window, looking at the alien ships parked outside. "Your people think of developing worlds as crops to be harvested. We knew this, so we made sure you saw what we wanted you to see. While you watched our fields, we built armies." The crystal being chimed in, its voice translating as musical notes. "What do humans want?" "Respect," Mary answered simply. "Recognition of Earth's sovereignty, and guaranteed protection for any other developing worlds in this sector of space." The aliens looked at each other nervously. They hadn't expected demands about other worlds. "That would interfere with centuries of tradition," Tull protested. Mary's expression hardened. "Traditions change, especially when the alternative is facing Earth's fleet." As if on cue, a massive ship appeared in the sky, dropping its cloaking field. It was one of Earth's new dreadnoughts, armed with weapons the aliens had never seen before. "We've studied every species in your coalition," Mary continued. We know your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears. We don't want war, but we've spent generations preparing for one." The message was clear. The diplomatic dance was just for show. Earth wasn't asking for admission to the galactic community. It was announcing its arrival. 3 days after the diplomatic meeting, the alien coalition made their move. A fleet of 500 warships appeared at the edge of the solar system, conducting what they called a routine military exercise. Everyone knew it was meant to frighten Earth. Admiral Walker stood in the Jupiter Command Center, watching the alien fleet's formation on the massive display screen. Behind him, operators monitored every ship's movement. No one seemed worried. "They're trying to scare us," Walker said to his command staff. "Time to show them what real fear looks like. Activate the Jupiter defense ring." Around the giant gas planet, thousands of hidden platforms emerged from their camouflage. For decades, humans had been building them, disguising the construction as mining operations. Now, Jupiter's rings transformed into Earth's most powerful weapon. The alien fleet noticed immediately. "Sir," reported Lieutenant Ray Turner, "they're scanning the ring. Their communications show they're confused. They don't understand what they're looking at." Walker smiled. "Let's help them understand. Power up the main cannon." Energy began flowing through the Jupiter ring. The massive structure started to glow, drawing power from thousands of antimatter reactors. The alien fleet's formation wavered as their sensors detected the enormous energy buildup. "They're sending urgent messages back to their homeworlds," Ray announced. "Should we jam their communications?" "No," Walker replied. "Let them call for help. Let them tell everyone what they're seeing." The Jupiter ring was now fully charged. Its targeting systems could hit any ship in the solar system with perfect accuracy. But that wasn't the real surprise. "Launch the Ghost Fleet," Walker ordered. From behind every moon and large asteroid in the solar system, human ships appeared. Not dozens, not hundreds, but thousands. Each one had been hidden for years, waiting for this moment. The alien fleet suddenly found itself surrounded. "Their ships are powering up weapons," Ray reported. "Let them," Walker said calmly. "Activate our tracking beacons." Red dots appeared on every alien ship's hull. The aliens discovered that humans had secretly attached tiny tracking devices to their vessels over the years. They couldn't hide, couldn't run, couldn't even cloak themselves. "Message from their fleet commander," Ray announced. The alien commander appeared on screen. He looked nervous despite trying to sound confident. "This exercise is meant to demonstrate our military strength," he said. Walker let out a short laugh. "No, it's meant to threaten us. But let me show you what a real threat looks like." He pressed a button, and something new appeared on the alien sensors. Their ships started detecting human vessels everywhere, inside their own territory, near their homeworlds, around their most secret bases. "While you were watching Earth," Walker explained, "we were mapping your entire empire. Those ships you're detecting. They've been in position for years. We could have struck any time we wanted." The alien commander's face showed real fear now. "Impossible. Our defenses are good," Walker finished for him. "But we've had decades to study them, to find their weak points, to prepare countermeasures." As if to prove his point, Walker activated another system. Suddenly, half the alien fleet's weapons stopped working. Humans had long ago figured out how to disable their technology remotely. "This is your final warning," Walker said. "The next time you bring a fleet into our solar system without permission, we won't just disable your weapons. We'll show you everything we can do." The alien ships started retreating, trying to maintain some dignity in their withdrawal. As they left, Walker gave one final order. "Show them the Sol System Defense Network." Around every planet, moon, and major asteroid, defense platforms activated. The entire solar system lit up with weapons and shield generators that had been hidden in plain sight for years. In the Jupiter Command Center, Walker watched the alien fleet flee. On his screen, Reports came in from human ships throughout alien space, all confirming the same thing. The message had been received. Earth wasn't just ready for a fight. It had already won the war before it began. "Send word to all commands," Walker ordered. "Operation Final Warning is complete. Now we wait to see if they're smart enough to understand what they just learned." The Jupiter ring powered down, but remained visible, a constant reminder to anyone watching that humanity had teeth and wasn't afraid to show them. 1 month after the Jupiter incident, the alien coalition called for another meeting. This time, they came not with threats, but with treaties. The meeting took place on humanity's terms, aboard the massive Earth ship Prometheus, floating in space between Earth and Mars. Dr. James Miller, who had first discovered their signals, sat beside Commander Wilson and Admiral Walker. They watched as representatives from 20 alien species filed into the conference room, their body language showing a new kind of respect. "Quite different from how they looked at us a year ago," Miller whispered to Wilson. "Amazing what a few surprises can do." First Speaker Tull stood to address the gathering. "The Coalition has reviewed Earth's demands. We are prepared to accept humans as equals in the galactic community." Walker raised an eyebrow. "Equals? Just last month you were planning to harvest our world." "We were wrong," Tull admitted, his blue skin darkening with what humans had learned was embarrassment. "We failed to see what should have been obvious. While we watched Earth like farmers watching crops, you were studying us like hunters study their prey." Commander Wilson activated the room's holographic display. A massive fleet of Earth ships appeared, the exploration fleet that had been hidden behind the sun. 300 vessels, each larger than anything the Coalition had ever built. "These ships launch tomorrow," she announced. "They'll establish Earth's presence in every sector of known space, not as conquerors, but as guardians." The crystal being chimed in. "Guardians?" "Yes," Wilson continued. "Part of our treaty demands includes protection for all developing worlds. No more harvesting. No more treating young civilizations like crops." The aliens murmured among themselves. Centuries of tradition were about to end. "And if we refuse?" asked one of the gray hunters. Admiral Walker touched a control, and new images appeared. Human stealth ships declocked near every major alien world. Defense platforms activated around their most important colonies, and targeting beacons lit up on their largest vessels. "We don't make threats," Walker said calmly. "We just show capabilities. You've seen only a fraction of what we can do. The choice is yours. Sign the treaty and welcome Earth as an equal partner, or discover what else we've been hiding all these years." The decision didn't take long. One by one, the alien representatives signed the treaty. Earth was officially recognized as a major power in the galaxy. More importantly, the practice of harvesting developing worlds was banned. As the aliens filed out, First Speaker Tull lingered behind. "There's one thing we still don't understand," he said to the human leaders. "How did you advance so quickly without us noticing?" Dr. Miller smiled. "We didn't advance quickly. We advanced carefully. Every time you thought you knew our capabilities, you were seeing what we wanted you to see. We built in secret, learned in secret, prepared in secret." "But why?" Tull asked. "Why not just announce yourselves when you were ready?" "Because," Commander Wilson explained, "we learned from watching you. We saw how you treated worlds that revealed their strength too soon. So we waited, watched, and prepared. When we finally showed our hand, we made sure it was unbeatable." After the aliens left, the human leaders stood at the ship's viewing window, watching Earth shine in the distance. "Launch the exploration fleet," Walker ordered. "It's time to show the galaxy what humanity can really do." Across the solar system, ships began moving into position. They carried not just weapons, but scientists, diplomats, and explorers. Earth was ready to take its place among the stars. Dr. Miller watched the fleet preparing to depart. "You know," he said thoughtfully, "they still think they've seen all our surprises." Walker laughed. "Let them think that. Sometimes the best weapon is letting others wonder what weapons you have. As the sun rose over Earth's hemisphere, humanity's exploration fleet jumped to faster-than-light speed, heading for the stars. They left behind a changed galaxy, one where the hunters had become protectors, and where humanity's warning had created a new peace. The final message was clear. We were never prey. We were simply waiting for the right moment to show we were the apex predators all along.